Charles Leclerc is the winner of the 2019 Italian Grand Prix. Pure sporting joy and emotion. Charles Leclerc, King of Monza.
Hello everybody and welcome to the last testing notebook for 2022, and there's some weird in-season testing session that I don't know about that I'm going to be asked to do a notebook for, but I don't expect there will be. So the next notebook after this will be the qualifying notebook for the Bahrain Grand Prix 2022. So this last day of testing, third and final day here in Bahrain. A few things to, we've got a packed show ahead. We're going to hear from Lando Norris, hopefully Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon. Quick update about Daniel Ricciardo. So a few hours after he had been returning some negative COVID-19 tests, and I told you about that at the beginning of yesterday's notebook, he returned a positive COVID-19 test. But he will be back definitely, or almost definitely maybe, racing at the Bahrain Grand Prix. So don't worry about Danny Ric. He's got the time to come with a clear test, and then he will be racing in Bahrain. Absolutely, it seems to be no question about that. Following all the protocols he needs to. The McLaren modifications to his car, meantime, have arrived. They are temporary, but they will put permanent modifications for the brake cooling in place. The Ferrari and the Williams collection that we talked about yesterday apparently has been sold. So when I said I was 98% sure that was true, that's always a 2% get out. Just as well I leave that get out, Pete? And there are some new Red Bull bits. There they are, look, in those packing cases. And not the guys with the bins, at least I hope not. I think they work better than that. The cases next to the garage. So hopefully we're going to see some more Red Bull bits. We've already seen some new Red Bull bits this morning. Hopefully we're going to see what Max Verstappen can have going into the session. And indeed, in the middle of talking to all those drivers, we're going to do Development Bedouin. Yes, Development Bedouin. I'll explain later. But because I feel we haven't really got a handle on where Alpine are in this test, I'm delighted. Yes, delighted. Tight t-shirt and all.
Very tight.
Wow, that's a tight t-shirt.
Yes.
Modesty.
Yeah, don't
Pete.
come too close, please.
Modesty.
You're right. You look very
Well,
good.
listen, I learned a long time ago, a pie enthusiast like myself, never to wear a tight t-shirt like that.
Oh, it's okay.
You know, and if it gets
Suits
cold.
you well. You look very in holiday place.
This is, believe it or not, for a French team, pour une équipe française. Je porte aujourd'hui une chemise française de Agnès B à Paris, de Paris.
Wow, amazing.
Do you want to check? See if I'm not lying?
You are not lying. It's very French.
Agnès B. Agnès B.
Very nice.
Good. Look, I've got a lot to get in this program.
So you are offering me one as
let's
well.
not talk about the chemise. Listen, I think you are so... Who are making these? Kappa. You are not allowed to wear Agnès B, mate. If Kappa can come up with a delightful print like this, then go for your life.
So then I give you one.
But looking at all
If
the
they
other
manage
stuff
to do
Kappa
that.
does, I'd be surprised. Sorry. I'm sure it's a great brand. Just not my style. Good.
He's terrible.
How's testing? How's the... Listen, we were... has it been a trouble-free pre-season for you?
It's been yes, I would say
Really?
a trouble-free. Yeah,
Oh,
it's been
okay.
fine. I mean, we had a fantastic last day, so
Yes, yesterday
So that's
was good.
been mega, and I think we've catched up on everything that obviously we've missed in Barcelona. And anyway, Barcelona was not that important because it was not the same conditions as the real race. When we are gonna come back in Barcelona, it's gonna be much hotter, completely different tires as well. So yeah, I think to have a good day here is the most important, and so far we are having good days.
And is the car beset by the bouncing like everybody else? It seems to be what at least you have. What we don't know is exactly how quick you are, but we don't know where everybody is.
I think nobody knows
Okay.
where anybody is.
But what
the
at
moment.
least you can say is that it's a solid package that isn't beset by some of the problems that some other people are having.
Yeah, I mean everybody is struggling in the end because they are new cars. There's a lot to understand. We've seen some reliability issues here and there. On our side, yes, once in Barcelona, but the rest was trouble-free. And yeah, I mean it's all going well at the moment. We've seen some bouncing for Fernando today, but we know how to reduce it because on my days I had none. which I'm pretty happy because I didn't need to take a paracetamol.
Yeah.
So all good. Yes.
Good. All right. I mean, is that a ride height thing? They can adjust it and they can solve it in
Yeah,
some ways,
you can
can't they?
solve it. I mean, it's obviously the car squatting down is
Yeah.
worse. And I think today the headwind in turn one is not helping.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we're looking forward to the season. It's a great lineup. You're all in pink with Fernando. So I think you carry the rose.
La
very
vie en rose.
nicely, La vie en rose. Un retour pour la vie en rose. Pour toi, mais pour Fernando, maybe he's thinking, qu'est-ce que c'est ça? But maybe
No,
you can tell him
I
that
think you will have even more pink. You're
you
gonna
carried
see. But,
you carried
it's
off
good.
the rose very well in the last
Thank
place.
you, thank you. It's déjà vu. No?
Yeah, well, it is all over again. Yes, and we look forward to it. And who knows, we might have a repeat of that win in Hungary. You never
We'll
know.
push for it.
You
We'll
never
push
know.
for it.
You never know. Well, Fernando, I'd like to see Fernando getting that win.
Yeah, it would be great.
You know, it would,
be
be great.
great.
He's at the podium and everything, but
If,
you've got that over on him. Yeah,
yeah.
but I still got the win, mate. You know, I mean, double world champion and everything. You know, but you know what I mean.
I mean, it's yeah. What can I say?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's
great.
not the
It's
same.
great to work with Fernando. I mean, I'm very happy to keep going, and even learning everything again. I mean, to have that relationship with him so close, it's mega because we can really push the team forward. So, happy days. We keep going.
All right, brilliant. Esteban, thank you very much. Could you help me out?
I can
And
help
could you
you.
give the
Yes.
microphone to these
Yes,
people over here?
no problem.
Because I have a, just give it to this one
Naomi.
in the glasses, yeah.
I know.
Oh, well, yeah, you can do, yeah, from what?
bad habit.
I don't know. I was going to talk to him first. You don't know what's in my head. I was going to talk to him first, but Naomi can. Okay, merci, merci.
can talk to
Because
Matt
everybody, I have. We're going to let you in on a brand new, sparkly, fantastically polished entertainment show for the highest production value. So nothing like this rubbish. On Sky Sports F1 this season, and it is called Any Driven Monday. It's all very exciting, and presenting it is Matt Baker, not that one. And my old W Series running mate and racing driver extraordinaire, Naomi Schiff. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
What would
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, excellent. What can we look forward to? Well, firstly, Matt, when is? Sorry, no, I was going to. It's my brain only works like that. When is the first Any Driven Monday? And what can we look forward to on it?
First Any Driven Monday, 6 p.m.
Tuesday night.
Monday.
Oh, right.
Monday.
Oh, Monday. You surprised me.
Monday, very important. Every Monday after a Formula One race,
Right.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
live on YouTube, and then
Right.
we repeat at 9 p.m. on the Sky Sports F1 channel.
Excellent. And you can hand the thing to Mike too. What
Thank you very much,
kind of
Matt.
things are you looking forward to doing? Is it
Well, I mean, we're going to
sort
be
of a reverence, a bit of light-hearted?
definitely a little bit of lightheartedness. I was just about to say we don't plan to be very polished, so yet to be decided what we're going to be talking about this Monday. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about not just F1, but a lot of F1, obviously, but some of the other feeder series like F2, F3, potentially W Series. All the hot topics is
Good.
how I'd like to describe it.
Excellent. And how have you found? I mean, obviously, listen, we're a racetrack old hands, you and me.
Yes, we
working
are.
with your new. Have I lost you as my on TV wife? You're now.
No.
Anyway.
I'm loyal. I'm
How have you
loyal.
found the F1 paddock now that you're? I mean, you've been around the F1 paddock, but getting to know it in a way that you're going to be talking to these guys on your show.
Well, I feel very lucky to be able to come to the test as a warm-up to what's going to happen next week. But it's been really nice. Actually, it's funny to see. I was saying to Jess Hawkins, I saw her in the paddock the other day, and it's funny to see how actually it's just a racetrack, isn't it? It's just a racetrack with passionate people who love motorsport like
Exactly.
nothing I didn't already know. But it is very impressive.
Exactly.
I will say
you're used to hanging around racetracks, heaven knows, filling for hours and hours with Naomi while we waited for W Series races in the rain. But in the rain, yeah, we've done that, been there. Good. Well, I look forward to this fun. Here's an idea. You could
I-
do. Why don't you try doing an interview with the Aston Martin team principal and seeing how many times you can fit the word crack into some questions. Maybe you could do that.
That's a really good idea, Ted.
Yeah, it is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Thank you very much, Matt and Naomi. We will do a transition in a YouTube style. Were you about to say something?
No,
you
I was
had
just
your
gonna,
hand up.
Sorry, I was going to say because
Right.
we've got George Russell on the show
yes,
on Monday.
promo
yeah,
time.
which
Go
is
on,
great.
promo.
I mean, George Russell,
Professional promo.
It doesn't need any introduction, I don't think. George Russell on the show on Monday at 6 p.m. Live. Exciting.
you want to say it's live, say live.
Live.
Good.
6 p.m. on Monday.
Good. I'm going to do a YouTube transition into our next bit.
Okay.
And we're here with Pierre Gasly, the Gasman in the Gasmobile. How is your Gasmobile this year? Sorry, why'd you laugh? I just love calling you the Gasman in the Gasmobile.
Well, yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, it's still, we are still discovering a lot about these cars, and there's still a lot to come. But I think overall it's been a good test. We've learned quite a lot. We've tested a lot, so now we've got a few days before we come back here. But I think we are in an okay position. We are not gonna go for the championship this season. This I know. But
yeah, okay.
We should hopefully be in a position to get some top 10. Yeah.
Well, that's good, because that's kind of where you left off 2021, and by the look of it, you could be right there with maybe Ferrari, but Mercedes and Red Bull are so struggling that you could be right there with McLaren to cause them some issues.
Well, I think that's. I mean, I don't want to say, because at the moment it's. No one's got the right answer, but from what we see clearly, the top 4 teams are a step ahead of everyone. We are more looking at the let's say the fifth fastest car, but it looks really tight, between Alpine. We're quite surprised with Alfa Romeo, which looked pretty strong. So. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you next Saturday. I don't want to think about it too much, but we've done most of our tests, and that's the most important.
Good. Well, I'm glad you seem happy, and it's great to catch up with you. So I'm glad we had the opportunity to say hello before the season. So bon courage and all of that.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week for the race.
Merci.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
The soul of a roadster. The drive of a Mazda SUV. The 2022 Mazda CX-5. Feel it for yourself with an extended test drive. Mazda. Drive together.
A stack of 2.5 million £1 coins would be about the height of Mount Everest. That's how much money Go Compare has refunded to drivers through their free £250 excess cover deal. And now you can get a deal like that on your home insurance. From guess who? Go Compare! You'll feel right at home with Go Compare! You're gonna need a bigger bag.
There is a bit of swagger and excitement.
Now this crowd has started to liven up.
Subtle changes in pace.
This is absolutely spectacular. Full stretch.
Look at his face.
Absolutely stunning. It doesn't get better than this.
Everything's better when you make it gold. Birthday presents, football boots, fleeces, gift gaff golden goodie bags.
Aren't they already gold?
Well, now they're even goldier. £10 now gets you 15 gigabytes of even goldier golden goodie bag goodness. More data. Search Golden Goodie Bags today. That's right, Golden Dolphin. Go Golden. Get even more data with Uswitch Network of the Year. Gift gaff gives back.
Fire. What's it smell like? Water. Life. It all happens in your kitchen. Moments become memories when you bake them in a cake. You might have only come in for a sandwich, but this is where you build a life. Kitchens by B&Q.
F1 is back, live on Sky Sports.
Hiya, welcome back to the Notebook. Ted's testing notebook for the final day of the final test ahead of the 2022 FIA Formula One World Championship. And if it's the last day of a test, it's time for Development Corner, or, as we're calling it here in Arabia, Development Bivouac, or Development Bedouin Tent. I like the idea of that, but hope you and can join me and the chattering birds who are to look through some of the changes that we've had at this test. It's a bit shorter than usual Development Corner because we haven't had too many changes, because most of the stuff came in Barcelona, which we already saw. If you haven't seen it, then take a look at our first Development Corner. And before the test even started, we had a very strong statement of support and solidarity from all the drivers, the Grand Prix Drivers Association, with the victims of the war in Ukraine after the Russian invasion. Lewis Hamilton was going to be here. He was absolutely committed to being here to show his support and to give the message as much as we could. And you know, we live in, but his plane was delayed. And he was gutted not to make it, but he was going to be there. He's the only one missing, of course. But, you know, we live in this bubble of Formula One, obsessed with lap times and downforce and ground effect and tyres and degradation. You know, we are not immune or closed off to what is happening in the world. So if we can help, and the drivers can help in any little way possible to show those affected that they are thinking of them, they stand with them, then they will and they do. But it was Lewis Hamilton's car that everyone was impressed with and more or less obsessed with, if you're me, at the first running, because it was completely different in the side pod area. And they're calling it a completely different car, everyone in the paddock. Mercedes say it's not different, it's just the side pods are different than the one they had in Barcelona, because this is the real thing. What it has meant is that much of the data they got with the car in Barcelona is now null and void, but at least it was proving the basics of the car. But here we go. It's what they're calling the no pod, the no side pod, the zero pod, or podless, which I like to call it. And it's these side pods completely slimmed down, but in some angles that we've got coming up, we can see how they're managing to do that and still keep the car cooled, and where perhaps they're keeping some of the radiators. And the interesting things to look at here as well are these things that are clearly sort of air conditioning wings, but also double up as the side impact structure to pass the side impact test. And they also have the mirror mounted on them. Now, to some people from up here, you can see the extent of some of the no pods or the podless. There is the wing. The wing mirrors are mounted on top of that, and it is so slim. To some people, including my boss Billy, it reminds them of the new generation of US destroyer, the Zumwalt class, the sort of stealthy destroyers, ships. Yeah, I can see the likeness there. But they'll be hoping that it cuts through the air as well as the Zumwalt class cuts through the water, because you can see what they're trying to do. And the interesting thing for me is where they are putting the cutouts that you'll have to have, the scoops that you'll see on everybody else's side pod inlets, but Mercedes is sort of turning them upside down or lengthways and then putting them in this area. And especially from this height, you can see in this next picture, I think as well, this picture, you can see what they're doing. But from this picture, I think it's clear they've moved a lot of the cooling, a lot of the radiators, including the intercooler, with a revolutionary intercooler design that Mercedes have got this year. They've developed in conjunction with the aerospace industry up into this point here. You see how chunky this is, either side of the air intake. That's gives you quite a clue as to where they've moved some of the stuff. Yes, higher center of gravity, but it helps them slim down the side pods there so that the dirty air from the front wheels stays clear of this critical point on the car. It hasn't helped Mercedes much. They have struggled in this test, but they think that is the right way to go. So you can see the little winglets on there. The rear wing is largely the same as it was in Barcelona, as is the front wing, although they have had a little bit of a tweak on that. So here we go with those little vortex. You see these little eyebrows here? They're vortex generators, which is helping south of the wing mirrors airflow get into a nice swirling vortex and accelerate it over the top of the diffuser and out towards the back, while also managing the wake off that front tyre. Another one from this point of view shows what you can imagine the air is doing as it comes through the front suspension. It's governed by that barge board, and then part of it goes under the floor and part of it goes here. It's very similar to the Red Bull. You see that with their huge sort of air strake coming out on the side here, capturing the air, diverting some of it under to be worked by the floor as ground effect, and the vortices underneath the floor, and the other parts around the side pod and out the back. So this is the new part. And by contrast, you see the Red Bull, look at that area, keep that in mind there, keep your eye trained there. Look at the Ferrari, nothing. So that is a very, very different way. Various ways to achieve the same objective, but I thought it was interesting contrast from the Red Bull and the Ferrari there, as well as the bodywork itself. But the Red Bull has been the centre of attention today because they've slimmed down the side pods, and with these changes, both to the front wing, an area around this barge board, and this area around the CLE of Oracle, they have had a real transformation into the visible handling of this car. So this is the Bahrain race spec. It's just arrived today on the last day of testing, and it looks like it's doing the business for Red Bull Racing. As we speak, it's Verstappen fastest, Perez from his time in the car this morning, second fastest, but that will probably change. I think it might have already changed by the time we review the day with Martin Brundle and David Croft at the end of this programme. There you can see a little bit more the cooling fins, gills that you're allowed to have, but Red Bull have had a very nice solution to them there. This I thought was interesting. The wing mirrors are sort of air deflectors themselves. So the air goes in there, hits the side of the wing mirrors, and can you see the detail on that? So even the wing mirrors have got sort of little barge boards, little air deflectors within them to push the air outboard. Don't know what this covering is. It's sort of a shock absorbing covering, or maybe it's a heat shield. I'm not sure. Any ideas? Let me know. These areas at the bottom of the brake ducts are new on the Red Bull. This is actually those on the AlphaTauri as well, but a nice close-up view of where you are allowed to put little barge boards. And on the back of the floors, we're seeing a lot of teams now, they're allowed to put these stays. This part of the floor was flexing too much downwards. It was choking some of the airflow and causing some of the underneath the car and causing some of the bouncing, the porpoising. So now teams, especially like Mercedes, as you saw earlier, and here on the AlphaTauri, bit rudimentary, bit agricultural, but they are allowed to put these steel bars, these stays, to firm up that floor area and to stop it flexing a bit too much. Williams putting a camera on the inside. Look at that wee little camera, hello there, pointing on the inside of their tyre to see what that's doing, and maybe at the front wing to see the flexion there as well. And we end at Mercedes, where you can really see what they're trying to do. It is essentially a sort of upside-down aircraft wing, isn't it? But to go the airflow to hit that, to go around the no pods and to go towards the back. And you can also see the sort of chunky area where they've got all their cooling. Right, that is it for Development Bedouin. We might do this, I'm not sure if we'll keep the Bedouin and transport it around the world, but we will certainly be looking in more detail at the latest developments throughout the season. But here is the busiest man in Bahrain this week, having done all 3 days of the test, because of course his teammate Daniel Ricciardo's got the dreaded C19. It's
Am I talking to you?
Lando Norris.
Is this it? Is this number one?
Well, this is one of them.
Hi.
You've got the delightful Rosanna over here, and then the Dutch Jack and Juliana. But I started, so if it's all right with you, we'll finish. Are you right? Do you need a massage?
No, I'm in, mate. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah. We've not done too many laps, have we? So today was a better day, but yeah, it's not been too tough for me.
Because of the issue with the brakes, can McLaren, obviously they can and will McLaren be able to fix this issue? Why are you laughing? In front before the Bahrain Grand Prix in a week's time.
I really hope so.
You're not getting this over here. Come
no,
over here with
because he trusts you, so we're free to speak.
Stand over here with your dictaphone. There you go.
We're free to speak.
Right. Can they fix it in time? There you go. Is it on? Hello. Can they fix the brake
problem Ted, don't worry.
in time for the Grand Prix?
I hope so. I mean, I believe they can, of course. They're already at work. They have been for already the last 3 days, as soon as we found out what the problems were. So we've had to take our time to really understand what the problems are, why it's happening, and so on, because it's obviously not something we were prepared for. So we need to understand what went wrong and everything. And there's a good group of guys and girls on that already, and trying to fix it all. So I hope so.
Because the car is essentially sound.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I think it's in a good place. I think everyone looked quick today. That's the worrying thing. Haas were pretty damn quick as well. Alfa Romeo looked very fast. Everyone, when they went low fuel and showed their pace, looked very close. So at the minute, apart from maybe Mercedes and Red Bull and Ferrari being ahead of everyone, everything else is looking pretty tight. So.
Well, yes. I mean, did you manage to look at Max's final time?
No. What did he do? Did he won
7/10 ahead of?
Yeah, but he was C5, right?
Leclerc. Was he C5? I defer to my expert who was watching at the time. Was Max C5 for that final lap time? Yes, he was.
Last 2 runs, I think, was C5.
The very last run, he was C4 before that.
Oh, okay. I keep this chap on hand
as
an expert for if I need to know tyre info.
So yeah, I mean, I was C3, so we have a bit left with tyres and stuff, but obviously C3 is the tyre we're using next week, so we didn't really care about the rest.
All right, good stuff. Last question: are you up for the Alex Albon WhatsApp golf chat group Monday, the tournament with Leclerc and George? Is George?
There's quite a few of us.
Is it a full ball? What are you playing?
At the minute, our trio, we're looking for a fourth. So if you're up for it, Ted.
No, I'm the world's most useless golfer.
You can caddy for me.
So at the moment, it's you, Charles, and Alex Albon.
Our group, my group, is Carlos, Jr., Sergio Perez, and myself. It was Carlos Sr. as well, but he's had to leave, sadly.
Okay.
So we're down a player, whereas I think Charles left to join Alex's group.
Oh, he left your group?
Well, we invited him, but he declined. So.
But Carlos is on your group. That's all.
Carlos is, and he's a good
Well, you
good
go.
golfer.
You go smash them, son.
I'll try.
Okay. All right.
Cheers.
Thanks very much, Lando. Right, enough golf chat. Let's wrap up the test and the whole pre-season with my esteemed colleagues. You saw him earlier with Lando, and Crofty's finally turned up. So thank you very much. We were waiting for you. You have been here 3 days, that's right. So just to run down who did what today. Max Verstappen was quickest by a whacking great 0.7 of a second, as I said, for Red Bull. Leclerc, then Alonso with 120 laps or so. George Russell fourth, Bottas, Tsunoda, Perez, Mick Schumacher, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel saw out the top 10. Then Zhou Guanyu, Pierre Gasly, Sainz, Albon, Latifi was the lap king on 124. Lance Stroll, Lewis Hamilton, and Kevin Magnussen, although the car you hear going around in the background will be the Haas, who has another hour or so of running. But, gents, sum that up for me, MB.
A good test, I thought. Really enjoyed it. Flew past. Generally very good reliability. They've been pounding around, getting lots of laps in. Some question marks, obviously McLaren's brakes, Alfa Romeo's gearbox, and so on and so forth. But I think we're set fair. A lot of work to do for some teams between now and the Friday running. And I think intriguing in certainly the middle grouping. But Red Bull for me came away as the clear favourites. What do you reckon, Crofty?
I love this time of night after a test, because where the team media personnel get together with the media and tell us all why someone was not as quick or was actually faster than it actually looks. So the spin is now taking place. For me, the highlight of this, it looks like the cars can run closer together for longer. And I get the feeling we are going to get some really exciting racing. The midfield looks lovely and congested and a bit fragile in parts as well. But Red Bull, right at the end, showed their hand, showed what they've got. They've got what looks like a really good package. Mercedes have got pace, but it comes with bounce, and they've got to get rid of the bounce.
And the reason, Martin, they've got these this Red Bull as pens transformed is because they've had a load of cardboard boxes at the back of their garage. Aha, there they are. And what contained them this morning were the new side pods and the new floor, which you believe, MB, has transformed the handling of this car. How so?
I think that they've been able to run the car lower. I think they've attached the Airstream better. When we saw the FlowViz paint on the car where they go out and this sort of paraffin-based thing slides down the car and shows them where the air is travelling over it. And it just seemed to go on the track and instantly, as so often happens when you get the aero right, which is all dominant, of course, on a car. Sergio Perez went fastest, and they've been smiling all day, haven't they? The longer runs were good, the ultimate pace was good. So I think what the pieces they put on the car just suddenly started to make the whole car work better.
Okay, Crofty, I'll ask you about Mercedes finally just in a second. No, in a second. Oh. Yep, but in a second.
Sorry. Steady,
we're all professionals, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till I've finished. I'll ask you about Mercedes in a second, but before finally Ferrari, Martin. On-screen chemistry. We're off-screen though, aren't we? Yeah, that's why we don't have any chemistry. Ferrari, they'll be there or thereabouts, or do you think they've been surprised by Red Bull? I mean, they've been downplaying it, but that's effectively a very drivable car in your eyes.
Oh, look, Ferrari look very good as well, and the drivers are confident in the car. It looks very compliant, very obedient out on track, and don't write off Mercedes either. I'm sure when they turn up, even as early as race one, they will be quite a bit faster.
Aha, okay. Well, that is my final question to you, Crofty. Mercedes are in trouble, aren't they? They're in trouble. They're not going to. Do we write off Mercedes?
No, we don't write them off, but they are in trouble.
Are they in trouble?
It looks a horrible car to drive. No, it looks a horrible car to drive. George has said this. Lewis has said this. Lewis has intimated that they're not in a position to win races from the start of this season. There's a lot of work needs to be done, but they are 8-time consecutive Constructors' champions, and they are not that without good reason. So, whilst along the straights, it looks like Lewis Hamilton is listening to some classic rock and doing a bit of headbanging in the car. The man whose karaoke song is Don't Stop Believing might keep on believing, and maybe Mercedes fans should believe that they will get it right, because they will. It's just what advantage do they give Red Bull or Ferrari whilst they get it fixed? If we were racing here this weekend, they wouldn't be winning. How long until Mercedes are in that position? We'll only wait and see, yeah?
Okay, brilliant. Gents, thank you very much. The second busiest people in Bahrain this week after Lando Norris, who did all 3 days for McLaren. And that's it from us. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. If you've been watching our live coverage, thank you very much to Formula One TV and everyone at Sky as well for bringing you this every day. And join us again on the 18th, 19th and 20th. We will have, will we not, FP1. We'll be back for FP1 on the 18th, qualifying on the 19th and the race on the 20th of March next week. But from me, from David Croft and Martin Brundle, for now, thanks for watching. It's goodbye.
Sky Sports F1. Feel it all.